At the time of this recording, CFL power rankings are not out. So we cannot be biased as far as what we've seen from our experts here at the CFL and kind of where they're going this week for the power rankings. But when you look around the league, when you look at the standings, there are three teams that can all have cases for that number one spot. We're talking about the Toronto Argonauts, the BC Lions, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Two out west, one in the east, but a clear top three for that top spot. We're going to go our own power rankings here. 1 to 3. We're going to rank these three teams, maybe debate a little bit. I'll let you start. Who is at your number one spot?
Waggle ranking.
The Waggle ranking.
At this very point in the season, I believe number one goes to no other team than the Toronto Argonauts, the Double Blue. I mean, one game away from being undefeated, and it's a game where some things happen but you got to go through those, and we lost in Calgary, but I don't feel like we've skipped a beat, and I feel extremely well where we are. I like the way that our offense is attacking every defense we're playing against. Our defense is in sync. We got playmakers at all levels. Got Win McManus, who's having an amazing year, and I'm waiting to give him $1 a week. That's my boy. These guys out there are being extremely dangerous, lethal. You know, every quarterback that plays against us, I guarantee you, thinks twice before they throw the ball deep. And so for that reason, I have to put the Argos first. I don't know about you.
You know, I thought long and hard about it. And I tried to come up with some numbers and some stats to make the case for the other two teams at number one. But I do agree with you. I am
about to stand up and back out right now.
I got the Argos at number one. I think what it comes down to for me, in my opinion, the special teams play so far this year with Javon Leake.
That's right.
I know Janorian Grant is great out there in Winnipeg, and I know BC has got a great returner as well. But the production from the special teams so far, to go along with the offense that scores 30-plus a week when Chad's playing, and the defense that has just been so opportunistic, whether it's sacks, turnovers, there isn't a combination on all three phases of the game like that so far from another team. So that's why I've got Toronto at number one. Let's see if we've got a disagreement, though, at number two. Who have you got at number two?
What about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
Okay.
But the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and I'm glad we're only, still got a lot of season left, but there's room for change. But the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, especially with the changes that have happened and the way that Drew Brown, the way that he stepped up. Now, it's going to be interesting to see down the road, but the way that he stepped up in Zach Larson's absence was absolutely impressive. I already touched on it, but they still seem like the great Winnipeg Blue Bombers of old. And so, yes, they lost the first game against the BC Lions, but they won the rematch. Cannot wait for the rubber match between those two teams. But as of now, is the team that won last is the team that's the better team. And I'll put the Winnipeg Blue Bombers ahead of the BC Lions.
Okay, so that means BC is number 3, obviously, on your list. I've got a bit of a disagreement. And you know what? Maybe it's because I just want to shake things up a little bit. Winnipeg's been so dominant all the time. They've been in the Grey Cup 3 years in a row, and I just want to see something new. I also admittedly have a soft spot for Vernon Adams Jr. I've loved watching him play from college to now.
That's my guy.
I love watching him play. So I've got the Lions at 2. And part of it is, and I know the Bombers beat the Lions last time out, but VA wasn't playing in that game, so I give them a little bit of a pass despite it being, and Dane Evans is a great quarterback. He's probably the best backup in the league if you had to pick one. But I give him a pass because VA wasn't playing, and they went into Winnipeg earlier this year and beat the Bombers in Winnipeg. So that has a lot of stock for me. And I also think defensively, I just love what they're doing defensively. I know Winnipeg put up 50 and you guys put up almost 50 on them, but every other team is at a really tough time. And when VA is going, that offense is just electric. They've got a ton of great playmakers. So that is why I've got BC. And it's no disrespect to Winnipeg because they are incredible.
No disrespect at all.
I just want something new, something fresh.
I believe it. But I just don't like the reason that you're giving. I don't like the reason that you're giving. I mean, listen. I can't argue with that because those two teams are really neck and neck when you talk about skills, you talk about talent, you talk about their ability to perform when they need to. I just don't know, man. When you talk about greatness, I don't like seeing greatness be underappreciated. Listen,
I respect that.
I think the Argonauts are first, but I definitely do recognize that although they've been great for a long time, the fact that they're still doing it is a huge, huge, huge thing for them, and it's not an easy feat. So, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Well, my top three is different, but I respect your opinion, and I wonder what our listeners, our fans, are also thinking. What is your top three? We need to hear that. We need to see it in the comments, and let us know what you think. What's your opinion on the top three at this stage